So, hello guys, welcome to the new lecture of the chapter pair of linear equations and two variables. So actually what happened is that guys, I tried to complete the entire exercise in the last lecture itself, but what happened was the first question was a bit lengthy since we had to do each question with both substitution and elimination method, right? So solving question 1 itself became like 53 minutes, right? So I thought I'll make two parts of this exercise and upload it, because if I do all the entire exercise in one video, if I had uploaded it would have been something like 2 hours, right? So I felt like 2 hours lecture is something really more, right? It's a lot. People will lose the interest to watch it. So I thought I'll make it into two lectures. So the first part of this exercise 3.4 solution is in the previous lecture, which was only the first question, and this part 2 of this exercise 3.4 is we'll be solving question 2, that it has again 5 sub questions, right? We'll solve this, and this is the part 2 guys. Done? Clear? And in this lecture we'll finish the exercise 3.4, and from the next lecture we'll go to the next method of solving the pair of linear equation, that is cross multiplication method. Done? That's it guys. Now let's dive into the question. The question says form the pair of linear equations in following problems and find the solution if exists by the elimination method. Okay, so the part 1, that is the first sub question, says if we add 1 to the numerator and subtract 1 from the denominator, a fraction reduces to 1. Okay, it becomes half if we add 1 to the denominator. If you only add 1 to the denominator, what is the fraction? Done. So I hope you people got the question guys. It's quite easy, right? It's easy to understand as well. So first step is the assumption step, right? Let the numerator be x and let the denominator be y variable. So we are going to assume the variables. Let the numerator be equal to x. Second one is let the denominator be equal to y. So what will the fraction be equal to? Fraction will be equal to x by y. Correct? So the fraction is x by y. Now let's go to the conditions and start formulating the equations. The condition is if we add 1 to the numerator means here, right? If we add 1 to the numerator and subtract 1 from the denominator, a fraction reduces to 1. A fraction reduces to 1 means is equal to 1. It becomes equal to 1. So yeah, 1, let's add 1 to the numerator and let's subtract 1 from the denominator, then the fraction will be reduced to 1. This is the first equation guys. And the second equation is it becomes half if we add 1 only to the denominator. So only to the denominator we'll be adding value 1. It's going to become equal to half. So these are the two equations, right? Now this is in a fractional form. So as I said to you, in a fractional form it won't be so, what is it? It doesn't look good. Okay, we shouldn't say like that in maths. So yeah, whether it looks good or not, the thing is that you have to write it in a linear, it should be something like this, not in a fractional form, right? So then it will be a bit easy to solve, right? So what we'll do the cross multiplication. That time we'll get a simplified equation. So let's cross multiply this. If nothing is below 1, then you have to, if nothing is down, you have to consider it as 1, right? So cross multiply 1 into 1, this nothing becomes equal to, this will come this side of the equal to, right? Because if it is 1, right, so you can directly cross multiply it. It will become equal to x plus 1 equal to y minus 1, right? Now let's bring all the variable term one side, all the constant or the numerical term other side. So it becomes equal to x minus y equal to minus 1, and when plus 1 goes other side, it will become equal to minus 1. Minus 1 becomes equal to minus 2. This is equation 1, right? Now let's cross multiply this one. So I'll write 1 by 2 like this, so that it will be a bit easy to understand, right? Now let's cross multiply it. 2 into x is 2x, right? 2 into x is 2x, and here it comes y plus 1. 2x plus 2x equal to y plus 1. So what we'll do, we'll bring all the variable term one side and all the constant or the numerical term other side. So it becomes 2x minus y equal to 1. So this becomes your equation 2. Now what we have to do? Now we have to find the value of x and y. Okay, they have given by elimination method. See, they have specifically mentioned from elimination method itself you have to find the solution. Two equations we got, now we are going to use the elimination method and find the solutions. So let's write both the equation next to each other. I'll write it here. Equation 1, x minus y equal to minus 2 and 2x minus y equal to 1, right? So if you see, in elimination method is that the term containing at least one variable should become completely same. That's when you can either subtract or add, and according to the question we can subtract and add and get the term cancelled, so that is one term we are going to completely eliminate, that is one variable we are going to eliminate, and only the other variable will be left out. That we can easily find out, right? That's how we have came doing it, right? That's how we have done still now. That's how we are going to do, right? That's the method in this elimination step. So what we are going to do is, if this both are same, minus minus, what we'll do, we'll subtract it. Subtraction, what will happen, the signs will get changed and then it will get cancelled out, which means y will get cancelled out, right? So plus will become minus here. Since it was plus 2x, it's going to become minus. We are going to make it minus, and here it is minus y, right? We are going to make it plus, and here it is plus, which we are going to make it minus. Now what will happen, it will become x minus 2x is minus x, right? And here it is plus y, and minus y will get cancelled, right? And here it will become equal to minus x equal to minus 2 minus 1 is minus 3, right? So x will become equal to minus will get cancelled, then x will become equal to 3, right? Now let's find the value of y. That's it, right? Now let's substitute the value of x in any of these two equations. If you substitute in any of these two equations, you are going to get value of y. I'll substitute in the first equation, x equal to 3, right? 3 minus y equal to minus 2. Now let's find the value of y. So let's do one thing, let's take y this side and bring 2 this side, because minus will become plus when it goes the other side of the equal to, right? So it will become like 3 plus 2 equal to minus y, when it goes other side becomes plus y. So y will become equal to 5. The value of x was 3 and value of y is 5. Done. So what is the fraction finally? The fraction is x by y, which means 3 by 5. So the fraction is, final conclusion, the fraction is 3 by 5. Done. That's it, guys. You found the answer of this question. As simple as that. First we assume the variables numerator and denominator, x and y, we assumed it, and then going by the condition, since they said us to, if we add 1 to the numerator and subtract 1 from the denominator, we are going to get 1, they said us. So we just formulated it mathematically, from sentence to max we formed it. And then second condition they gave us, if you just add 1 to the denominator, the fraction is going to become equal to half. That also we wrote it. And then what we did the cross multiplication, correct? From fraction we brought it to the non-fractional form, and from non-fractional form what we did the elimination method. Here in elimination it was a bit easy for us to do it, guys, because already minus y and minus y term was same, right? We didn't there was no need for us to multiply again. So one step, it got one small step got reduced, so we could easily find the value of x, and then we substituted the value of x in any of these two equations. We got the value of y. After getting the value of y, x and y, we again wrote it in the fractional form, that is 3 by 5 as the final answer. We finally concluded with the final answer as fraction equal to 3 by 5. That's it. Done. So now I'll move aside, you can take the screenshot, guys. Now next let's go to the part 2, that is second sub question of this question. So now let's go to the second sub question of the second question, guys, right? So the second sub question says, 5 years ago Noori was thrice as old as Sonu. 10 years later Noori will be twice as old as Sonu. How old are Noori and Sonu? Done. So in the question they're asking the age of Noori and Sonu, that is the present age, right? How old are Noori and Sonu? They are asking the present age. So the first step is the substitution step. So this type of question, if you have noticed, guys, a lot of this type of question comes, right? If you remember, we did the Avatar and the daughter's age, and then we also did the father and a son's age, right? One problem in exercise 3.3, something like that. And now this is the third time we are doing a very similar variety of question. It's almost the same, right? It's actually same, right? Except the few conditions, everything is going to be same of those questions. So make sure that this type of question you master it, because if it is repeating, right, it means that it is quite important, right? And if you read this question itself, you will get like it's a practical real life kind of problem, right? So in this chapter many problems will be like practical real life problems only. So have some interest in study, guys. It's going to be really easy. This chapter is quite interesting actually. It's not like you're mugging up everything. You are actually using some brain and then you are doing the questions, right? So it's quite interesting, to be honest, right? Now let's go to the question. First step is the assumption step. So let's assume that present age of Noori be X years and the present age of Sonu be Y years. Let the present age of Noori be equal to X, right? And then let the present age of Sonu be equal to Y, right? Now going by the conditions, 5 years ago Noori was thrice as old as Sonu. So 5 years ago means first we'll do X minus 5 and also Y minus 5, right? Because 5 years ago means it's going to be the present age minus 5 years for both, right? Time is same for everyone, which means 5 years ago means X was also minus 5 years and even Y was 5 years less than the present age. So X minus 5 and Y minus 5, they are telling Noori was thrice as old as Sonu, which means Noori's age before 5 years was thrice as old as Noori's age 5 years before was thrice as much as Sonu's age at that time, that is before 5 years itself. So, and this was the first condition, guys. From this you will get a first equation. Now let's see how you are going to get the second equation. 10 years later, which means X plus 10 and Y plus 10, right? 10 years later Noori will be twice as old as Sonu, which means Noori will be twice as old as Sonu, right? So from this you got the second equation. That's it, guys. Now there's no need to even see the question. You have to just solve these two equations, find the value of X and Y by elimination method, because in the main question itself, in the main second question, they are given that all the questions coming under this you have to do by elimination method, right? So that's it. We'll start expanding this first. Let me expand this equation here. It becomes like X minus 5 equal to 3Y minus 15. Let's bring all the variable term one side and all the numerical term, let's keep it other side. It becomes like X minus 3Y equal to minus 10. So this becomes equation 1. Final equation 1. And this becomes like, now let's expand this one, right? It becomes like X plus 10 equal to 2Y plus 20. Now let's bring all the variable term one side and let's keep all the numerical or the constant terms other side. We are doing the same process for all the questions. So by now you must have become thorough with it. So this is equation 1 and this is equation 2, right? So we expanded both the equation. This was the expansion of first equation and this was the expansion of the second equation, and finally we got equation 1 and 2. Now let us write equation 1 and 2 here, and let's do the elimination process and find the value of X and Y. X minus 3Y equal to minus 10, and then X minus 2Y equal to 10. Correct? Yeah, it is correct. So in elimination step, what you have to do, guys, I said you one term with any one variable, be it X or Y, should be the same, so that it will be easy for us to cancel it off, that is to eliminate it off. But if it is not same, you will make it same with multiplying, right? By multiplying this into 2 or this into 3 in such numbers, with any numbers that any two of the terms with the variable X or Y, any of the term comes out to be same, so that you can subtract or add it and cancel it off, right? So we'll do one thing, but here if you see both the terms are already same, so our work of multiplying is reduced here, right? So it's going to be easy. So we can just subtract it so that it will get cancelled off. Subtraction means plus will become minus and minus will become plus, and here plus will become equal to minus. So this plus X and minus X will get cancelled, and here minus 3Y plus 2Y becomes equal to minus Y, right? Equal to this becomes minus 10 becomes equal to minus 20, which means minus minus will get cancelled, then y will become equal to 20, right? That's it, no? So we found the value of y. Now let's find the value of x. To find the value of x, what you will be doing? You will substitute the value of y in any of the two equations, either 1 or 2, and then you will get the value of x. So I'll substitute in equation 2, right? X minus 2 into, in place of y we are placing 20, equal to 10 they have given us, which means x equal to 10 plus 40 becomes equal to 50. So the value of y is 20 and the value of x is 50. That's it, right? So what's the age of Noori? Noori's age is 50 years. Noori's present age is 50 years and Sonu's present age is 20 years. Correct. Shall we do the verification as well? Yeah, let's do the verification as well. Verification means you are just going to plug the values of x and y back into the first and second equation and check whether the LHS is going to be equal to RHS. If the LHS comes out to be equal to RHS, which means the verification step is complete and the answers are correct, right? Let's just plug in the values. So the equation 1, if you plug in the values x and y, it becomes 50. In place of x, I'm putting 50. 3 into y value I'm going to put as 20. Now we have to see whether it's going to come as minus 10. So 50 minus 3 into 20 is minus 60, right? 3 into 20 is 60. 50 minus 60 becomes equal to minus 10. See here, it's RHS. So it's verified. Now x is 50 minus 2 into 20. X minus 2 into 20, value of y is 20. Let's see whether it's going to be equal to 10. 50 minus 40 equal to 10. Correct. So even this one, this was the verification process. This two step was verification. Actually, you have to write it here. This was, okay, I'm not writing it. Okay, before you should write it here. Verification step, right? That's it, done. So we found the value and we also did the verification step. Now I'll move aside, guys. You can take the screenshot. After that, we'll go to the next sub question, that is sub question 3. So now let's go to the third sub question, guys. Third sub question says the sum of the digits of a 2-digit number is 9. Also 9 times this number is twice the number obtained by reversing the order of the digits. Find the number, right? So it's quite similar, guys. We have done like a similar question in, I guess, in a previous lecture or something like that, right? It's quite easy. So by now you would have got a hold on this type of question. When they say a 2-digit number, do you remember I said you it's going to be in the form of 10 into 10's place. Let it be, the number be x, plus 1 into 1's place. Let the digit in 1's place be y. Here 10 into, let the digit in 10's place be x. So you are going to get in the form like 10x plus y. Like this form you are going to get the 2-digit number, right? Do you remember in the previous lecture also we studied it? So you are going to get in this form because, for example, if you want a number 54, you can get it from this form. In place of x you have to put 5, it becomes 50. And in place of y you have to put 4. That time it becomes 50 plus 4, it becomes equal to 54, right? Let you take any number, let's take 97. Any 2-digit number can be obtained from this general form. In place of x you have to put 9, it becomes 90, and in place of y you have to put 7, it becomes 7. So 90 plus 7 will become equal to 97, and here you got 97, right? So this is the general form, guys. 10's place means it is multiple of 10's, right? 10's place in any digit, in any 2-digit number, this is the 10's place, right? Which means it is multiple of 10, which means 10 into x. Let this x be 5, assuming, and 1's place be multiple of y, so that you are going to get by addition, right? So it is 1 into y, it's multiple of 1. So this is the general form, guys. So this was a quick recap of the concept which you are going to use. Now let's go ahead to the question. Just a minute, guys, I'm searching my cloth from which I can rub this. Oh, it's here. Got it. Yeah. So before writing this also, this is a, before writing even this, we have to do the assumption step first, and then we are going to write that equation. So let's get into the solution, right? Let's assume that let the 10's place be x. Let the digit at 10's place B equal to x, right? Just B equal to x, and then let the digit at ones place be equal to y, right? So the two digit number will be, so the two digit number be equal to 10 into x is 10x plus y. This is the two digit number. Done. Now going according to the question, the sum of the digits of the two digit number is 9, which means x plus y equal to 9. Correct. This is the first equation which we got it. We got it directly. It's easy, right? This is the first equation. And the second equation we'll get by also 9 times this number is twice the number obtained by reversing the order. Okay, so also 9 times this number, which means 9 times this number is equal to 2 times the number when we reverse this digit. Reversing of digits means in tens place, in the tens digit y is going to come, and in ones digit x is going to come, is equal to, so 9 times this number, 9 times this number is equal to twice the number obtained by reversing the order of the digits. Find the number. Correct. Now one equation we got it here itself directly, they have given sum equal to 9. Second equation you are going to get by simplifying this, and then first and second you have to solve it to get the values of x and y. So let's go ahead guys, let's first expand it and simplify. This becomes equal to 90x plus 9y equal to 20y plus 2x, right? Now let's bring the 2x this side, it becomes equal to 88x equal to am I doing it correct? Yeah, I guess it's correct. It will become equal to 20y, let's bring y other side, it becomes equal to 20y minus 9y, which means it will become equal to 11y. So let's take the ratio now, x by y, let's bring y this side, it will come here down, x by y equal to 11 by 88, correct? X by y, I'm keeping x here itself and I'm bringing y here, I'm bringing y down, 11 is here itself, I'm taking 88 here, got it? Y I brought it down, let 11 be here itself, I'm taking 88 down, because that's the way, right? So you got x by y equal to 11 by 88, or else, yeah, let this be equation 2 guys, there's no need to do this actually, right? With this itself you can do it. Okay, even let this be, so let's consider this only as equation 2, or else we'll do one thing, wait, we'll do the same thing which we have come on doing it. That is, we'll take all the variables one side and all the constant terms one side. Here there's no constant term, which means we'll take 0 in RHS. Let's take only the variable in LHS and keep the 0 as RHS. This is equation 2. We got equation 1 and equation 2. Correct. Now we have to solve these two equations to get the value of x and y. Let's solve it here guys. So I'll write both the equations here once again. Right, done. Now let's solve it. We have to do it by elimination method. Oh my god, it's elimination method. You can't do it by substitution also, because here substitution would be a bit easy, I am feeling it. No, we have to do it by elimination itself in this question. Maybe it's almost the same guys. Right, okay, let's do it. Elimination means any of these two variables should be equal to, any of these two terms should be same as any of these two terms. So which will be easy, we have to multiply this into 11. Then what it will become? It will become 11x plus 11y equal to 99 into 11 becomes equal to, 9 into 11 becomes equal to 99. And here it will be like 88. This is going to be equal to same, this will be same. So here it becomes plus 11 and minus 11, it will get cancelled up. So we are going to just add it. So plus 11 minus 11 get cancelled up. 11 plus 88 becomes equal to 99. 99x equal to 99 plus 0 equal to 99, which means x equal to 99 by 99, which means x equal to 1. As simple as that. Getting it? Now we have to find the value of y. Let's substitute this place in, let's substitute it in equation 1, right? This was equation 1. This was equation 2. Let's substitute it in equation 1 and find the value of y. If you substitute in equation 1, it becomes 1 plus y equal to 9, which means 1 plus y equal to 9, which means y will become equal to 9 minus 1, 8. Right, we found the tens place and we found the ones place. So finally, the 2-digit number is going to be, we have to just plug those values of x and y into the final equation. That is the that's the general equation of a number, of a two-digit number, right? Then we are going to get the, finally we are going to get the number. So let's do the conclusion step here. So the number is 10 into x. 10 into x place is 1, right? So 10 into x plus 8, which means equal to 10 plus 8 is 18. So the number is 18. Finally you will write, so the number is 18. That's it. Found the number. Question done. Third sub question is done, guys. So I'll move aside, you can take the screenshot. Next let's go to the fourth sub question. So guys, now let's go to the fourth sub question. Fourth sub question says, Meena went to a bank to withdraw rupees 2000. She asked the cashier to give her 50 rupees and 100 rupees notes only. Meena got 25 notes in all. Find how many notes of 50 and 100 she received. Right, so it's a quite interesting question, guys, right? But it's quite similar as well, similar to the previous questions we have done. First we have to formulate two equations and solve them. That's it, right? So first we have to find the two conditions from which you can form two equations. Even before that, the thing we have to do is the assumption of the variables, right? So what they have asked us to find how many notes of 50 and 100 rupees she received. So the first step will be assuming of the variable is going to be what we are going to find, what we are supposed to find in the question is the one we are going to assume, right? That's how we have come solving it. How many notes we have to find, which means the number of notes of 50 be x, and let the number of notes of 100 rupees be equal to y. That's the assumption. This is what we don't know, right? All others they have given us. So what we don't know is itself we are going to assume as the variable so that we can solve and find it, right? Let the number of 50 rupees notes be equal to x, and then let the number of 100 rupees notes be equal to y. Done. Now let's go for the conditions. Let's write this condition first, guys. They are given because it's easy to write. Meena got 25 notes in all, which means x plus y equal to 25. They're saying 25 notes in all she got. So x plus y equal to 25. This is one condition. This we can consider as equation 1. And the second condition we are going to get from here. See, x time, so total amount she withdrew is 2000, right? Which means if one note is 50 rupees, x notes amount will be equal to, if you withdraw x notes of 50 rupees, the amount will be equal to 50 into x, right? And if you withdraw y number of notes of 100 rupees, the amount will be equal to 100 into y. And 50 into x plus 100 into y gives us equal to 2000 rupees, because finally she is having 2000 rupees in her hand, which means 50 into x plus 100 into y equal to 2000. This is equation 2. Now we have to solve these two equations and find the values of x and y. That will give us the number of notes of 50 rupees and 100 rupees she received. So what we'll do, we have to do by elimination method itself. To do the elimination method, same guys, we have to make any of the two terms with one variable, at least with one variable, For example, x term is here, right, and here x term is there. We have to make these two terms equal so that we can cancel it up. So what you are going to do, you are going to multiply this entire equation 1 with 50. That time what will happen? It will become 50x plus 50y equal to 250 into 50. We'll do it, guys, right? Let's write it down here. So second equation we are going to write it as it is. First equation we are going to write it after multiplying the entire equation with 50. It becomes equal to 50x plus 50y equal to, let's do this, 225 into 50. 1250 equal to 1250, and here second equation we are going to write it as it is. 50x plus 100y equal to 2000. Done. So this was equation 1 and equation 2. Now what we'll do, we will cancel these two. To cancel these two we have to subtract it. So 50x minus 50x is going to give us 0. So let's subtract it now, minus, and let this plus become equal to minus. 50x minus 50x equal to 0. 50y minus 100y equal to minus 50y, correct? Plus 50y minus 100y will become equal to minus 50y, and here it's going to become equal to 1250, that is 1250 minus 2000 will become equal to minus 750. Now we have to find the value of y. Y is going to be equal to minus 750 by minus 50. I'll do it here. So y is going to become equal to minus 750 by minus 50. So first step, minus minus will get cancelled up, right? So it will become plus, and here 0 0 got cancelled up. So 5 into how many times is going to give us 75? 1s are 2, 5. Okay, 12. So y equal to 12, right? 5 1s are 5 12s are. So y equal to 12. We got the value of y. Now we have to find the value of x. If we plug this value of y in equation 1, we are going to get the value of x. So we will write it here. So all these steps you have to write it, guys. In your paper you have to write it neatly. In few questions I might not have written it, I would have said it orally, but you have to write it in paper, right? You are not going to talk with your teacher through the paper, so you have to write it verbally. Yeah, you have to write it, so keep that always in your mind. Putting this value in equation 1, then what will happen? X plus 12 equal to 25 it will become like x plus 12 equal to 25. Then what will be the value of x? X will become equal to 25 minus 12, which means x will become equal to 13. Done. So you got the value of x and you got the value of y. So finally what you're going to do, you can conclude it. Okay, before conclude it, let's verify it. Right, verifying means you have to put the value of x and y back into you have to put the value of x and y back into both the equations and check if you are getting LHS equal to RHS, right? So let's do the verification step here, right? This is the verification step. So if you put the value of x and y here, 12 plus 13 equal to 25, it's obvious. 12 plus 13 equal to 25. So LHS is coming out to be equal to RHS, which means from the first equation we verified it, verification over. So now let's verify with the second equation. 50 into 12 plus 100 into 13 should give us 2000. That is 50 into 12 plus 100 into 13. 100 into 13 is 1300 plus this is 600. Oh, so we are not going to get 2000. Just a minute, guys. Okay, y is 12 and x is okay. So y is 12, right, and x is 13. So we are going to get like I'm thinking why it's not coming properly. Let's do this. 50 into 13 is, I think we'll get it. Just a minute, guys. I'm getting a bit confused. Let me do it properly. We'll do 13 into 50. It becomes 650, and this will become equal to 1200, right? So this should become equal to 800 alva. I mean, it should become equal to 800. Why this verification is coming wrong? In first step the verification is coming correct. So 1 minute guys, let's see where we went wrong. You multiplied it with 50, so 25 into 50, there you went wrong. Oh. It's 1250 only. Oh, no, it's correct only. 1250, 50. Just a minute, guys. We did minus, okay, and got like this. 5 into 1, 2 is left out. 5. Okay, guys, the value of here we did mistake in the division. Okay, the value of y is not 12. Okay, the value of y is by 50. No, it is not 12. It will be equal to 0, 0 will get cancelled. Here it will be 1, 2, 5. It will be 15. The value of y is going to be equal to 15. So here is where I went wrong. And the value of x we are going to get as that's what I was thinking, where we went wrong. See, this verification step saved us, right? If we are not doing the verification step, we would have simply concluded it. Correct? We would have concluded it without verifying, means we are losing all the marks. We would have just got, maybe if this was for 3 or 4 marks, we would have got only one mark for these steps. That's it. You would have lost 2 to 3 marks. So the verification step helped us. So it's always important to do the verification step, guys. See, even I myself went wrong. So there is all chances that even you might go wrong someday or the other. So it's always better to verify. Then x will become equal to x plus y equal to 25, right? So x plus 15 equal to 25, which means x will become equal to 10. So the value of x is 10 and the value of y is 15. Now let's verify, guys. Now let's verify. Now it's going to come correct. So 10 plus x plus y equal to 25 we have to verify. 10 plus 15 equal to x plus y equal to 25 we have to verify. So 10 plus 15 equal to 25, right? 10 plus 15 equal to 25, hence verified. Let's put this value of x and y into this equation now, second equation. 50 into x is 10 plus 100 into 15. Let's see if LHS is going to come to RHS, that is 2000. This becomes equal to 500 plus 1500, which will become equal to 2000, which is coming equal as the RHS, hence verified, guys. Done. That's it, guys. At last, after verification, you can finally conclude by saying the number of 50 rupees notes are 10. Number of 50 rupees notes equal to 10, and the number of 100 rupees notes are equal to 15. Done, guys. That's it, right? Now I'll move aside. You can take the screenshot. After this, let's go to the 5th sub question and also the last sub question of this exercise. So now let's go to the 5th sub question, guys. The 5th sub question says a lending library has a fixed charge for 3 days and an additional charge of each day thereafter. Sarita paid rupees 27 for a book kept for 7 days, while Susie paid rupees 21 for the book she kept for 5 days. Find the fixed charge and the charge for each extra day. Done, guys. So in the question they are given that there is a lending library which lends the books for students or for the people in general, and it has something called fixed charge, and after that fixed charge for 3 days, after the 3 days when you are going to return it, fixed charge plus charge per day is going to get added up, right? So they are telling for a book kept for 7 days. And okay, so there are two people, Sarita and Susi. Sarita paid rupees 21 for the book kept for 27 rupees 27 for the book kept for 7 days, and Susi paid rupees 21 for the book she kept for 5 days. Find the fixed charge and the charge each for each day, each extra day. So this question is easy itself, guys, but I think there is a small tricky part in this. I'll tell you guys what's the small tricky part. So first let's start assuming the variables. Let the fixed charge be equal to x rupees, right? And then let the charge per day after the fixed charge after 3 days is equal to, let it be y rupees per day. So this is x, right? Just a minute, guys. I don't know why I find always it's kind of difficult by writing x. The thing is that I'm used to write x like this, right? So but you people might think like this is n or something. So when I write fastly, you people might end up thinking it's n. So that's why I'm not used to write x in this way, right? So I'm getting habituated just now after I started to do the lectures. Done. So it is x rupees and this is y rupees. Now going by the condition, Sarita kept it for 7 days, which means, guys, there is a small trick here. You might go wrong. So the amount she paid was 27. So 7 days means 3 days is going to go with the fixed charge, right? So apart from the fixed charge, how many days she has kept? 3 days she kept the book in fixed charge. After 7 days means, for 7 days means, in 7 days, 3 days was what is that? Of that 7 days, the 3 days the charge was of fixed charge. After that, the remaining 4 days was only of the charge per day. It is not like you will write entire 7 days as charge per day. So 7 days we have to split it as 3 days, and the remaining 3 minus 7 is 4. This is the variable charge, that is charge per day, and this is the fixed charge. This is going to be x plus 4y, right? X plus 4 into y. Per day it is y rupees. For 4 days extra she has kept, it is 4y, which is equal to 27. Got it? So I'll write it neatly now. This was the catch, guys. I think this is a bit tricky part, right? This is the only tricky part in this question. And after that, everything is going to be same. You are going to form two equations and just solve them up. So x plus 4y equal to 27. That's it. And then the second part is, for Susi kept it for 5 days, which means, so 3 you are going to subtract it. 5 minus 3 is 2. So only for 3 extra days she kept it after the fixed charge. So x plus 2y equal to how much? 21. This is equation 1 and this is equation 2. Now we have to find the value of x and y, that is the charge of fixed charge and the charge per day. That's it, guys. Right. Now let's do the elimination method, because we are doing the elimination, right? We have to do it by elimination. So what we'll do, we'll just minus it. X and x is here, so we'll minus it. Plus will make it as minus, and here also plus will make it as minus. Plus x and minus x will get cancelled up. So 4y minus 2y will become equal to 2y, and here 27 minus 21 will become equal to 6, and then y will become equal to 6 by 2. 6 by 2 is nothing but equal to 3, right? We got the value of y, which means it is 3 rupees per day. Getting it, the extra charge after 3 days, after that fixed period of time, is 3 rupees per day. Now let's put this value of y in equation 2 and find the value of x. So here you're going to write as putting the value in equation 2. What it will happen? It will become like x plus 2 into y, that is 3, equal to 21. X plus 6 equal to 21. This becomes x plus 6 equal to 21, which means x equal to 21 minus 6. When 6 goes other side, it becomes 21 minus 6, which it will become equal to 15. So the value of x is 15 and the value of y is 3. So the fixed charge for 3 days is 15 rupees, and after that charge per day is 3 rupees. Right, so that's it, guys. Find the fixed charge and the charge per day. We found it. So finally you can conclude by writing as the fixed charge equal to the fixed charge equal to how much? 15 rupees, and charge per day. After that, charge per day, after that equal to 3 rupees, right? 3 rupees per day. That's it, guys. As simple as that. Now I'll move aside. You can take the screenshot. Done. Took the screenshot. So guys, we finished exercise 3.4. So exercise 3.4 is over. This was the last question of the second main question. I mean the last question, right? This is the fifth sub question and the last question. So we are done with exercise 3.4. In the next lecture, we'll be seeing the introductory video or the concept video of cross multiplication method of solving pair of linear equation in two variable. After that lecture, after learning how to do the cross multiplication and solving few examples based upon cross multiplication method, and then we'll go to the exercise part in the after that lecture. I mean the lecture after the next lecture. In that lecture, we'll be doing the exercise part of cross multiplication. That's the next few lectures plan, right? So here it's over, guys. So before going to the next lecture, I would urge you people to practice few questions based upon elimination method. It's elimination method. Sorry, I'm confused. Yeah, by elimination method. Practice few questions so that you don't forget. Also practice from substitution method as well. That was the the previous method of solving pair of linear equation, right? So always keep in touch with all the methods, guys, so that you people don't forget it. So that's it for this lecture, guys. Meet you in the next lecture with a new concept, that is cross multiplication method. That's it for this lecture. Bye.